I hate you.
We've still got to come up with an intro. Oh, it's recording.
That's it. Okay.
Say hello, motherfucker. Hi, everybody. This is Social Oxygen.
And Mr. Truman.
I'm George.
I'm Mark. We're going to be breaking down 3 beats today, to solo and 1 collab. This loop I'm going to be breaking down was made with heygwuapo MIDI. The loop is called Warper 159 BPM. Accordingly,
Loop Warper, show me where you started, from the very beginning.
I'm going to show the loop first, and then I'm going to show you how I made it. That's how the loop sounds. Very energetic, a little bit goofy. I started with this MIDI, and it's quite simple. I think it was flipped. I think it was like this. So, I just flipped it, pressed Alt Y. And this is how I got the main mel. It's just some simple pad from a serum. Actually, it's a synth from a serum bank by CHEYZ. A simple one, and Valhalla Room on the mix. That's how it sounds without it. Quite dry, and with it on it sounds wide. It just adds this width. Then we have this bass playing the root notes of the pad. Then we have this one. Oh, and by the way, there are no effects at all. A bit of a cut on the 100 Hz. Low cut. There's a pad like this, too. But it's a little bit higher. I cut the fuck out of it. Cut off all the lows below 982 Hz. That's what it sounds like without. But I wanted it to fill the top frequencies, because the bottom is already filled by the bass. And also, the original pad.
Yeah, you made it crazier.
And then the same pad, just sliced. Bro, that's fucking hilarious. I mean, nothing complicated at all, just a harpsichord in Analog Lab, not processed at all, just as it is. And I ended up with this shit.
Did you get the bass? You are a fucking alchemist.
Then there was this lead, also in the MIDI. It's probably the only lead with an effect. The only instrument with an effect. It's just Portal. I thought it was some kind of a Shaperbox preset. It's just a regular default Portal preset, chopper. And without it, it sounds like this. And the last instrument, actually, it's this kind of arpeggio. I think I made it from the MIDI too, also just by pressing outer. And, actually, that's how I made it. It's nothing complicated. But then all these layers sound like this without the slicing. So, what I did is I sliced these layers. It's got Valhalla Room on it. It's got a cut too. Without Valhalla it sounds a little bit flat. With Valhalla it's wider. And that gives it some of that special sound. What did I do with this arpeggio? I just took it. First of all, I slowed it down by half. Secondly, I just took it up an octave. That's pitched it up by 1,200 cents right there. And here we have this unusual cut.
The fuck did you draw?
And so we pitch it accordingly. And then we slow it down like this. And it sounds very analog, very nasty even. And then we add to this same mel ...
Lol, I'm like a fucking news reporter.
You acting like you a football commentator now. It's a very simple mel, I mean, there's no magic to it. But I think the way I chopped it up, that was the fun of it, 'cause it's got that kind of groove.
Nah, bro, to create something like that, you need inner swag, you know, an inner source of strength. Give them some good advice.
You know, I think the fucking main thing about beat making is just to fucking things. Learn to feel the music. I mean, you know, don't go by chords or anything like that. Go by ear. But know how to get the bass in tune properly and know how to pick chords that sound cohesive. And secondly, learn how to pick the sounds. That's the only two things that you need to become the best fucking beat maker. Drums too. Learn to feel the rhythm. But mostly, I would say, the sounds. That's the main thing, because a lot of drums ruin some songs. Like, I don't know, a motherfucking hi-hat or maybe an 808 out of tune. I mean, yeah, experiment with them. But you gotta feel it. I think it'd be wrong if I picked up some lead. Like this for example. I mean, it wouldn't sound so good.
Yeah, well that's fucked up. Sounds like a fucking mousetrap type beat.
That's exactly what I mean. Kind of have to understand, you have to feel it.
In short, you just gotta feel the music in your own way.
And the feeling only comes with time and practice. Unfortunately, there's no other way. Like either it's a talent or it's a good ear to pick out sounds. But it's hearsay. I mean, you definitely have to listen to different music and you have to learn to hear which sounds go together and which don't.
So, where should I start? Well, I got this melody from Mark Budman. I got this mel from Mark Budman. Do you think you could? I got this mel from Mark Budman. Here it is. I cut it up like this. I just put a parametric EQ on it. I'm not gonna show you the master channel, that's secret sauce. So, I pitched it by 200 cents. I went ahead and made the drums firstly. I wrote the 808. How do I break this beat down?
And are those the sounds from your emotions drum kit?
Better, yeah, I started making it back then. I use it a lot. Oh,
I also use it. Link in the description, y'all.
brew, you integrated that shit so well. So this bass, then we have the second one. Here then there's the hi-hat. The hi-hat is as simple as possible. It just goes like this, yeah. Then an open hat or no, it's a clap actually. Should I just show the drums first, breaking this beat down like I'm disabled?
I hate you.
That's the beat. So drums wise, first I wrote the bass for the loop. And then there is a second bass, it's called jump.
The question is, where did you get these 808?
I took the drums from my drum kit that's already on my Instagram. So after the hi-hat I wrote down this clap. I added this kind of thing. Then a snare. Then an open hat.
It's from Average Drums from 2018.
The fuck did you say?
Playing this shy hard.
The main thing is the sound selection, like here the patterns are simple. I like this kind of thing with voxes and effects. Here there's this lion roaring. It adds a lot of swag. Pierre born come visit us. Well, and in short here is just the simple fact that you have to know how to use the mells.
For example, this stutter you made before the drop, somebody just makes 300 billion fucking hi-hat rolls, which makes it impossible to rap on.
I hate you.
You know, after yes, it's like all these details they give their own to your beat. Like imagine it would just repeat throughout the whole beat, like this the same. But here I gave the beat some dynamic.
Although the mel is fire, so ... Good melodies can be ruined. You have to know how to make beats. And also, for example, there's someone who'll do the two-step hi-hat and just a regular clap without giving much of a fuck. But it won't fly because it's gone to basic. I mean, you have to find a balance there, which is not really difficult. Not as easy to do as it seems. I think George would agree with me.
I completely agree with this statement. The master channel also gives some swag, but it will all come with time, but it will boost you if you pick a decent master. Without the master, the beat sounds so much worse.
I hate you.
It's like he's fucking playing it on a microwave or some shit. That's pretty much it. To summarize it, it's the selection of sounds, getting them right and making the 808s in key.
This is such a beautiful melody. I started with these chords in FL. Then we have a very simple progression. Then we have a bass that is not super resonant, just fills out the low end. It follows the bass notes of the chords. Then we have a guitar that goes like this. We have a Valhalla, just a simple delay effect. And here we have a synth that is very high. Sounds a little nasty. I don't know whose preset it is, but this is how it sounds without the shaper box preset, a synth, which I've forgotten. It follows the same chords. I just copied them from the MIDI. It sounds very cool on its own, but I added a shaper box and a portal. Some kind of reverse and stutter, and the portal blurs it a little bit. And probably the favorite element of the loop is this SOCIALOXYGEN. no processing at all. Then we add this kind of the usual square bass, cut it down. Because we have the other bass. Plays the root notes. And then we add this kind of pluck zero processing. And again, all together. The loop sounds like this simple melody, which was made with love. Now I'm gonna open the project with the drums. The drums here are also very interesting, and so we're gonna break down the first pattern. So the bass just follows the root notes of the loop. And here we will have a slide. But nothing complicated at all. Hi-hat is a little more interesting. We have this roll here. And then there's a step. I like this technique, and here it goes a little crazy. We have triplets here. And here what's cool, that there is an interaction with the snare. And this one is also a snare. So there's this rhythm made by two snares. There is also this snare roll, also made with triplets in fact. And then the second pattern, we're going to turn up the bass. Here I just raised the bass an octave. So if in the previous pattern, we had the bass at the bottom there, in this pattern, we have the bass coming from the top, and then it lands down. And there's an identical slide here too. And the drums seem to be exactly the same here. I mean, it's just the 808 that's changed. And then I just cut out the main part. These chords, and I cut out this nasty synth mel, and they sound like this together. Then I made this transition with this beautiful pluck. That's all, and I want to show you a track that my friend recorded on this same beat.
This ain't fast enough, I need that SRT in the front. Tire smoke, look like gas in my lungs. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, big guap, oh yeah. Oh yeah, she get top, oh yeah. We can't stop, man, twin got shit on lock. Oh yeah, got only one.
I think that's all, you know.
I hate you. I hate you.
The first instrument is a pluck. With this MIDI there is nothing on the processing. Then I wrote down the synth sound, which almost duplicates the MIDI. Only changed a few things here. Then there is the second synth. Then here was a bass. It remained in the mel. And a piano with delay on the processing. In general, nothing on the processing. Then I just rendered it all, and it came out like this. I rendered it, I pitched it down by 250, and then I thought I should pitch it down by 500 more. And I didn't like the way the synth sounded originally, so I put a grow speed on it. This is how it was before. This is how it was after. And that's everything melody-wise. Then we have the drums, and then I have to 808 seconds, one from my kit and one from Pierre Bourne. So the whole point is in the one-shot selection. What else is there to tell about this beat? I kind of explained everything about the processing. There's nothing here. I just scattered it over this fucking thing like this.